Hey everyone, Richard Bass here from Thriving with Richard Bass. Today we're tackling something crucial, navigating the IEP process. As a special education teacher, I've been on both sides of the table, and I'm going to share insider knowledge to help you advocate effectively for your child. First, let's decode what an IEP really is. An individualized education program isn't just a document, it's your child's educational roadmap. It's a legally binding document that outlines specific supports, accommodations, and goals for your child's education. But here's what many don't realize. You, as a parent, have significant power in this process. Let's break down the key components every parent should understand. Present levels of performance. This is the foundation of your child's IEP. These aren't just test scores, they should paint a complete picture of your child's strengths and challenges. In my years of teaching, I've seen too many present levels that focus solely on deficits. Remember this phrase, my child is more than their challenges. When reviewing present levels, ask yourself, does this accurately describe my child's abilities? Are both strengths and challenges addressed? Does it include social and emotional functioning? Are my concerns as a parent documented? Now, let's talk about goals. Here's a secret from the education side. Goals should be SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But they should also be meaningful. I've sat in countless IEP meetings where goals were recycled from previous years without real consideration of the student's progress or needs. Red flags to watch for in goals. Vague language like will improve or will do better. Goals that haven't changed from the previous year. Targets that don't align with your child's present levels. Goals without clear measurement criteria. Let's address accommodations and modifications. These are the tools that level the playing field for your child. In my classroom, I've seen how the right accommodations can transform a struggling student into a confident learner. Common accommodations include extended time for assignments, breakdown of complex tasks, preferential seating, use of assistive technology. But here's what many parents don't know. You can request specific accommodations based on your child's unique needs. For example, if your child struggles with sensory processing, you might request noise-canceling headphones, flexible seating options, lighting modifications, movement breaks. The placement decision is another critical component. Least restrictive environment, LRE, means your child should be with their typical peers as much as possible while still getting appropriate support. I've seen schools default to more restrictive settings without fully exploring inclusion options. Questions to ask about placement. What percentage of time will my child be in general education? What supports will be available in each setting? How will transitions be handled? What opportunities exist for peer interaction? Now, let's talk about the actual IEP meeting. This is where many parents feel intimidated, but I'm going to share some power moves. 1. Request the draft IEP before the meeting. You have the right to review it. Send your concerns in writing beforehand. Come prepared with specific questions. 2. Bring support. You can invite advocates or specialists. Consider bringing someone to take notes. Don't feel pressured to sign immediately. 3. Focus on data. Ask for progress monitoring results. Request specific examples of concerns. Keep your own documentation. Here's a pro tip from my teaching experience. Create a parent concerns document. This should include your observations of your child's progress, specific challenges you've noticed, suggestions for supports, questions about implementation. Remember, disagreement isn't bad. Some of the best IEPs I've seen came from productive discussions where parents and schools initially disagreed but worked together to find solutions. Your rights in the IEP process. To participate in all decisions. To disagree with any part of the IEP. To request meetings outside the annual review. To receive progress reports. To revoke consent for services. Let's talk about implementation monitoring. This is crucial but often overlooked. Ask, how will progress be measured? Who's responsible for each accommodation? What's the communication plan? How often will you receive updates? Here's a strategy I recommend. Create a monitoring binder. Include copies of all IEP documents, communication with school staff, work samples, progress reports, meeting notes. Remember, an IEP is a living document. It can and should be amended if it's not working. Don't wait for the annual review if you see issues. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: preparing for transition planning. Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school, middle to high school, or preparing for post-secondary life, transition planning is crucial. The IEP team should start discussing transition goals well before these major changes. Key aspects of transition planning include career exploration and interests, independent living skills, community participation, post-secondary education options, vocational training opportunities. In my years of teaching, I've found that successful transition planning starts early and involves regular assessment of self-advocacy skills, social competencies, work-related behaviors, independent living capabilities, academic readiness. Let's also address behavioral supports in IEPs. If your child has behavioral challenges, the IEP should include a functional behavioral assessment (FBA), a behavior intervention plan (BIP), clear crisis intervention procedures, specific de-escalation strategies, data collection methods. Here's a critical point about behavior plans. They should focus on teaching replacement behaviors, not just managing challenging ones. The plan should outline antecedents, what triggers the behavior, behavior description, be specific, consequences, both natural and planned, replacement skills to be taught, staff responsibilities and training needs. Another crucial element is assistive technology. Many parents don't realize that assistive technology evaluation should be considered for every child with an IEP. This could include text-to-speech software, speech-to-text tools, visual scheduling apps, communication devices, organization and planning tools. Remember to ask these questions about assistive technology. What training will staff receive? Will the technology go home? How will effectiveness be measured? What backup plans exist for technology failures? Let's also discuss extended school year ESY services. This isn't just summer school, it's about preventing significant regression. Consider requesting ESY if your child takes an unusually long time to recoup skills after breaks, is at a critical point in developing a skill, shows regression after shorter breaks, has goals involving related services. Finally, let's talk about building positive relationships with your IEP team. Some strategies I've seen work well: regular communication outside of formal meetings, acknowledging team members' efforts, sharing success stories from home, being solution-focused rather than problem-focused, maintaining professional boundaries while being collaborative. Remember, you are your child's best advocate. Trust your instincts, ask questions, and remember that collaboration is key. The goal is to create an educational plan that helps your child thrive. That's all for today. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Thriving with Richard Bass. Drop a comment below with your IEP questions or experiences. And stay tuned for our next video where we'll dive deeper into specific IEP accommodations. See you next time.